In the sterile glow of a secure server room deep beneath the gleaming headquarters of Vanguard Dynamics in Seattle, 26-year-old Sofia Reyes discovered the betrayal that would ignite her war. It was 3:12 a.m. on a rain-lashed Tuesday when she stumbled across an encrypted folder buried in the company's cloud drive. Files she shouldn't have had access to, but her all-access clearance as lead AI engineer had never been revoked after her promotion. The folder was labeled Project Phoenix, but what spilled out weren't innovation blueprints. They were trade secrets from Nexus Innovations, Vanguard's fiercest rival, proprietary algorithms for quantum-secure encryption, stolen and rebranded as Vanguard's own. And the digital fingerprints? They pointed straight to one name, Alexander Kane, the charismatic CEO who'd personally recruited Sofia from MIT 5 years earlier, promising her the future. Sofia froze, her breath fogging the chilled air. Outside, the Puget Sound roared against the docks, mirroring the storm inside her. This wasn't just theft. It was corporate sabotage on a scale that could bankrupt Nexus and catapult Vanguard to unchallenged dominance in the defense tech sector. Billions in government contracts hung in the balance. But the real knife twist? Sofia had been Kane's golden protege, the one he'd paraded at Davos and TED Talks as the next generation of American ingenuity. He'd mentored her, yes, but now she saw the truth. She'd been the perfect cover, the diverse face to deflect suspicion while he orchestrated the heist from the shadows. Sofia had risen fast in the cutthroat world of Pacific Northwest tech. Orphaned at 16 when her immigrant parents died in a car crash outside Tacoma, she'd bootstrapped her way through college on scholarships and sheer grit. Vanguard had been her family, Kane her surrogate father figure. He'd pulled her into the inner circle, late-night strategy sessions in his glass-walled penthouse overlooking Elliott Bay, introductions to venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, even a seat on the advisory board for his charitable foundation. "You're destined for greatness, Sof," he'd say, his smile as polished as his Harvard pedigree. She believed him, trusted him. Until now. The espionage had been brewing for over a year. Nexus Innovations, a scrappy Boston-based upstart founded by idealistic engineers, had developed groundbreaking AI-driven cybersecurity tools, tech the Pentagon was salivating over. Vanguard, stagnating under mounting debts from failed acquisitions, needed a lifeline. Kane, facing ouster by restless shareholders, turned to the dark side. He hired black hat operatives through shell companies in Eastern Europe, funneling bribes via cryptocurrency wallets disguised as R&D expenses. The breach happened during a joint industry conference in Las Vegas. A Vanguard insider, paid handsomely, slipped malware into Nexus's demo laptops. Terabytes of data flowed out undetected. But Kane needed plausible deniability. That's where Sofia came in. Unbeknownst to her, he'd routed some of the exfiltrated data through her secure credentials during times she was logged in remotely. Subtle alterations to server logs, forged metadata, classic misdirection. If questions arose, the trail would lead to the ambitious young Latina engineer hungry for her big break. Kane even planted seeds of doubt among the executive team, offhand comments about Sofia's late-night sessions and unorthodox access patterns. The house of cards began crumbling when Nexus filed a lawsuit in federal court, alleging industrial espionage. Whispers reached Vanguard's boardroom, anonymous tips to the FBI, forensic auditors circling. Kane, ever the showman, went on CNBC denying everything, positioning Vanguard as the victim of baseless attacks from jealous competitors. Behind closed doors, he panicked. He needed a fall guy, fast. Sofia became the target. It started subtly. Her performance review suddenly flagged irregularities in project access. Then came the email, sent from her account while she was on mandatory vacation in Hawaii. Gift, from Kane, a damning message to a Nexus whistleblower, offering to sell remaining secrets. By the time Sofia landed back at Seattle-Tacoma Airport, her world was unraveling. Security escorted her out of the building. The board suspended her pending investigation. Social media exploded, #Vanguard Spy trending nationwide, with trolls branding her a traitor to American innovation. Reporters camped outside her modest Capitol Hill apartment. Her phone lit up with hate, death threats, doxing, even her old MIT classmates distancing themselves. Devastated, Sophia retreated to a friend's cabin in the Olympic Peninsula, the dense forests a temporary shield from the storm. But isolation bred clarity. She wasn't going down without a fight. This wasn't just about clearing her name, it was revenge, calculated, relentless. Kane had betrayed not just her trust, but the very ethos of the industry she'd dedicated her life to. Armed with a burner laptop and encrypted drives, Sophia went dark. She reached out anonymously to a journalist at the Seattle Times known for investigative pieces on tech corruption. Teasers, leaked snippets of Project Phoenix files, redacted just enough to hook without exposing her. The story gained traction, pressure mounting on Vanguard stock. But Sophia needed more. She infiltrated Vanguard systems one last time, not to steal, but to expose. Using backdoors she'd built years ago for legitimate debugging, and never disclosed, a secret she'd kept as insurance, she mirrored Kane's personal drive. Jackpot, emails to offshore accounts, voice recordings of meetings with the hackers, even a video call where Kane laughed about throwing the girl under the bus if needed. The suspense peaked during Vanguard's annual shareholder meeting at the Washington State Convention Center, a glittering event packed with investors, media, and federal agents lurking incognito. Sophia, disguised in a caterer's uniform, slipped in through a service entrance. As Kane took the stage, touting record growth and unbreakable ethics, the massive screens behind him flickered. Then hijacked. The room erupted as Sophia's curated exposé played. Documents, audio, the damning video. Kane's face drained of color, his polished speech crumbling into stammers. "This is a hoax," he shouted, but the evidence was ironclad. Shareholders gasped, phones captured every moment, going viral in seconds. #Kane Betrayal trended globally. Chaos ensued. Security tackled Sophia as she revealed herself, standing defiant on the stage she'd helped design the tech for. "He framed me," she declared into the microphones, voice steady amid the pandemonium. "But I just toppled his empire." The fallout was cataclysmic. The FBI raided Vanguard's offices that night, arresting Kane on charges of corporate espionage, wire fraud, and conspiracy. The company hemorrhaged value overnight, stock plummeting 80%, lawsuits piling up from Nexus and defrauded investors. The board dissolved Vanguard, assets sold off in a fire sale to cover penalties. Kane's trial dominated headlines, the fall of a tech titan, broadcast live from a Seattle courthouse. Sophia, vindicated, testified with unflinching poise. The judge commended her ingenuity. Nexus offered her a chief security role, complete with equity that made her a multimillionaire. But the revenge was deeper. She founded Reyes Resilience, a consultancy exposing corporate malfeasance, mentoring young women of color in tech to spot predators in boardrooms. Years later, standing atop the Space Needle as the sun dipped into the Sound, Sophia reflected on the betrayal that forged her. Kane rotted in federal prison, his legacy ashes. Vanguard's ruins became a cautionary tale taught in business schools. Never underestimate the insider you wrong. In America's innovation heartland, where fortunes rise and fall on code and cunning, Sophia Reyes proved that betrayal cuts both ways, and the betrayed can burn the house down with surgical fire. The game was over, but her legend had just begun.